Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the weekly Priestess Rise Up transmission. This is episode 50. I'm so delighted to be here with you, whether you're here live or watching the replay. It's such an honor that you join me every week as we gather together, as we connect with our heart and our divine mission, as we connect with what we've pledged to in this lifetime, as we connect with our divine medicine. And so that's what we're here about. It's really like, for me, the priestess path is a path of leadership, a path of divine leadership, which is a path of service. And it is a path of influence as well. And sometimes that can feel very like a lot of responsibility or like a lot of pressure, or even can bring up fear. And so a lot of people that are absolutely meant to be leaders shy away from leadership because of all of the emotions that it brings up, because of all of the discomfort, because of all of the self-doubt that it brings up. And so every week I come here to share teachings from my forthcoming book, Priestess Rise Up, to normalize this process, that it's normal to have all the emotions come up. That's part of the journey. It doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong, and it doesn't mean that you're not meant to lead. And so today we're going to talk about decisions, making decisions. And making decisions, I've said this before, is how you express your power. Think about that. Making a decision. Instead of dwelling in, I don't know, I'm confused, that is very depleting and wastes a lot of energy. But what's interesting is that our ego loves that. Our ego loves to indulge in confusion, indulge in I don't know. Why? Because it feels like that keeps us safe. Well, if I don't know what to do, then I won't do anything, right? Then I can just kind of stay the same, which the egoic structure really is not interested, is not designed to help us with our path of enlightenment and awakening. The ego structure is designed, is programmed to keep us attached to duality, keeps us feeling like we have to compare ourselves with others, keeps us feeling that we're not enough, all of the things. So of course the ego structure, even if it thinks, even if you, it's very clever this way. So I know I've been in this situation, right, where I'm trying to make a decision and I'm spending so much time making the decision. And it feels like the right thing to do, to spend all of this time like thinking about it and doing inner work and all of this stuff feels very productive and meaningful. And yet there comes a point where it becomes very clear, if we've been on the spiritual path for some time, that it's just a delay tactic, that it's really like, we can stay in indecision for years. And it's one of the most wasteful uses of our precious time. And so, as I say this, this isn't coming from a place of judgment. This isn't suggesting that, oh, you should decide things, without tuning in or without doing, there are times where it's absolutely appropriate, of course, to do some research, to do your due diligence. But that's very different when it comes from your soul rather than your egoic structure. And so when we talk about decision making, we also talk about emotions, because our emotions, our emotional body, I want you to imagine that you have your auric field, and you also have this field that is your emotional body. All of your emotions, all of them. all of the emotions, particularly the emotions that are generated from our egoic structure, emotions of shame or guilt or indecision, panic, anxiety, worry, all the things that we don't like to feel. And then we also have the emotions that emanate from our soul, right? Emotions like love, like compassion, like peace, like the emotion of deep care. Those emotions we tend to not have any resistance to, but often they're hard to access because we have those heavier emotions that are weighing them down. And so when you're trying to make a decision, it can be really hard. It can feel very cloudy because of all the emotions that are there. And this Friday, I am leading a free masterclass called Soul Emotional Radiance for Career Success. And so this is like a little slice of the pie of what I'll be sharing on Friday. And so as I was tuning into this, the importance of making decisions. Oh, I'm so glad, Robbie. Hello, Destiny. As I was praying and tuning in, what came forward was the main decision that helps ease all the other decisions. Because I was tuning into, for example, many of you know, right? We're relocating, we're moving. There's all these things, big transformations happening in my life right now. And it feels like 1,000 decisions every day, to do. Some that seem little, some that seem bigger. And this is being echoed in every part of my life, all these decisions. But what my soul keeps bringing me back to is, what is the most important decision? The most important decision, the one that takes care of all the other decisions, is the decision to follow my soul's guidance. It's that one decision. Because when I decide that I am committed to my soul's guidance, which is another way of saying I'm committed to spirit, to the creator's vision for my life, then everything else rests on that. You can start to trust if that's the decision you're making, and that's a decision that we make every day. It's just like when you commit to a partner, to a wife or husband or lover or partner. It's not a one-day commitment. It's an ongoing commitment. It's an ongoing decision. And so when we decide, so years ago, I decided I am committed to following my soul's guidance. I am committed to that. That's my prayer, that I create my legacy of love that I'm meant to create. Not that my ego thinks it's supposed to be, not that the different parts of me think would be a good idea, but what my soul is really like, this is your life's purpose. This is what you're here to do. And so it takes a lot of courage to make that first initial decision. And then you make the decision and then you make it all over again, right? Because sometimes we're like, yep, I'm totally, yes, that's my decision. I'm following my soul's guidance. Absolutely. And then something happens in our life, something challenging usually, that makes us question that. That makes us think, well, do I really trust my soul's vision? Do I really trust the divine? It brings up all of the natural fears. But what the beautiful thing that happens every time we bump into that, and I've shared many times, right? I've had experiences of that, like, when one of my children was very ill, and I was like, there's things that can happen in our lives that just knock us out of our center, and we get totally in fear and panic. It might be a loved one being ill, it might be the loss of a job, It might be the end of a relationship. It might be a diagnosis, an illness diagnosis. For me, most of my clients are wellness professionals, spiritual teachers. And if they're not, because I do have clients that are in different businesses and careers, they have a prayer, whatever their business is, to be of service, to follow their divine soul's calling, to create new paradigms and systems. And so people who are drawn to my work have a deep prayer of like, this isn't new. It's not like they're like, what, soul, what is that? No, they're like, yes, that's what I want since childhood. Even if I couldn't put the words there, that's what I wanted. I wanted to follow my soul's path. And part of our life, we have those experiences that are so challenging that our ego very sneakily can come in and be like, well, okay, I will connect with my soul, but first I've got to take care of my finances. First I've got to consult the doctors. First I've got to do all this stuff, and then I'll connect with my soul. But the truth is, if we have made the decision that we are trusting that our soul will guide us, that's the first step, not the last step, the first step, then everything else becomes simpler. And I'm not saying, for example, when one of my children was ill, it doesn't mean that I didn't go to the doctor or I didn't consult experts or I didn't do all of the earthly things. However, it was a very, very poignant moment in my life where I looked at my meditation cushion and thought, parts of me had very distinct thoughts of like, that's all BS. Meditation is not going to help me right now. Like, meditation is not going to help my daughter. Like, I need to go research doctors and figure out what's going on with her. But I also knew in that moment that, I was already a spiritual coach. I was working on my first book, which is all about following your soul's guidance. So I knew that either I believed it or I didn't. Either that applied to every situation or it didn't at all. Either I sat down on the cushion and prioritized my time with my soul, even through that crisis, or nothing I was teaching was real or true. I would either have to quit my job as a spiritual career coach, or I would be lying. I would just be inauthentic, right? I would be saying, oh, yeah, follow your soul's guidance. But there are times when you want to do that at the end. You want to first, do all the earthly things. But that's not what we're here for. We're here on a path of mastery. We're here to be brave. We're here to be the people who are in the front line. It's not easy, but that's what leadership is. So when you make the decision every day, whatever your prayer is, whatever your mantra is, it doesn't have to be fancy, but where you're like, beautiful soul, I use a lot of kind of Christian mysticism, even though I'm open to all spiritual traditions that call to my heart. For me, still the phrase Holy Spirit, after I unpacked it and did all my healing around organized religion, still resonates because, one of the books I really study is Course in Miracles. So I've shared this before several times. For me, every morning, having the prayer of like, Holy Spirit, that your holy agenda be fulfilled today, not the ego's. Your holy agenda, beautiful soul, be fulfilled today, not the ego's. When I consistently and ongoingly make that decision every day, then it starts to relax me because I know that when I'm making the other decisions, even if I quote unquote make a mistake, my soul is always correcting the decisions. I don't have to be as like stressed or, oh my gosh, is it this or is it that? Is it this or is it that? When I have made the decision and every day continue to make the decision that, beautiful soul, you're the one in charge. I know I have my opinion of what I think is the best thing to do. Then it starts to little by little create trust. You start to feel the hand of God, the hand of spirit, the hand of the divine, the hand of Goddess working miracles in your life. And you can start to, yes, have compassion for how we can spin on decisions. I mean, I have done that. I want to make it clear. as I'm teaching this, I teach this because this is what I'm learning. It's not that I never have indecision. In fact, these last few months, as I've had to make a lot of decisions about my business and my work and my where we're gonna live and everything, I've had moments of utter panic of trying to decide what's the right thing and pulling 1,000 oracle cards because I was like, I wanted the ascended masters to tell me what to do. Is it this decision or this decision? Please tell me what to do. And often they're just sitting there loving me, saying like, no, we're not going to tell you what to do because that's not the training that you need. The training that you need is to be in your own heart and discern that answer and trust that whatever you decide, because you've already made the decision every day, every morning, every day, every morning throughout so many challenging things that you want to follow your soul's guidance, that that's your priority, it's going to be corrected even if you take the wrong decision. And so I really wanted to offer that today for you, that invitation of, what comes up for you when you, wherever you are with this. If you are listening and you're like, yes, I have made the decision to follow my soul's guidance every day, then the question for you is, how is your soul guiding you to up level that, to deepen that commitment? Because our soul is always holds the bar up high and is always taking us to the next level, always, until we ascend, right? Always. If you're been back and forth, what I call in my book, Answering Your Inner Calling, I call it flirting with our soul. We're in the flirting stage. Like, yes, I do love my soul. It feels so good, but like, I'm not ready to commit. If you're in that place, then asking yourself, am I ready to commit? What will it require for me to commit to my soul's guidance, to my soul's direction? Am I still in that flirting stage? There's no judgment, but it's, being honest with ourselves. It's so much more powerful to recognize, what, I actually am not fully in. I'm actually not fully committed. I've been scared. That's okay. Your soul already knows anyway. But when we can name the truth, we can start to shift back into a place of pure resonance and alignment. And so when we do our ceremony today, we're really going to step into that place of, as one of my teachers calls it, the choice of no choice. And she talks about how, and this spoke to me so deeply, after a while, after we've committed and committed and committed and decided, yes, not my will be done, but your will. Of course, please understand that when we say that, we're actually saying that our will be done, because our divine will is aligned with divine will, right? We actually, it's a trick of the ego to scare us to think, oh no, if I turn over my will to source, I'm going to be asked to do something I don't want to do. That's a trick of the ego, because the truth is that source's will, God's will, the divine's will, and our will are one. That's the only thing that can bring us true happiness. And so when we step into the ceremonial space, we're going to step into, that's what I was saying, the choice of no choice, step into that resonance, that next level commitment to that decision that you are a disciple to your soul. I mean, I noticed that in my commitment to mentor with Mother Mary, for example, and Jesus and Mary Magdalene and so many others. Obviously, I know that Ascended Master Mother Mary, I completely believe that she is helping me fulfill my soul's mission. It's not about worshiping Mother Mary. It's about that I trust that Mother Mary has this alignment with my soul. And sometimes I can hear the messages for whatever reason. Well, I think the reason is because, like many of you, many of us had lifetimes where we we connected with Mother Mary and Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Green Tara and all of them before they ascended, like when they walked a human life. And so when Mother Mary asks me to do something, I can say, well, I have no choice. I'm just going to do it. Not because she's a dictator and I'm scared of her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't let her down. Not for any codependent, creepy thing, but because I have been so devoted to mentoring with her for really lifetimes. I trust the guidance. So even if sometimes I don't like it, even when she first had me do my Guadalupe gatherings, which now, good gosh, I don't remember how many years I've been doing that for. I was scared to do it. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I didn't know if people would want to come. It was all these things, but she asked me to do it, so I was like, all right, the choice of no choice, right? No choice because my soul knows that's actually going to bring me the most happiness. And so that's how it is with us and our soul, is we start to recognize, when my soul is guiding me to go to Europe, in 2 weeks, oh my gosh, in 2 weeks, to go to Ireland, to go to the south of France on this holy sacred pilgrimage, when logically it makes no sense because there's so many things happening, with our relocation. But my soul and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene are like, nope, you want to do this? And I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to. It doesn't make sense. Like, we need to be packing and all of the things. But when my soul says that, and these ascended master guides that I trust say that, ultimately I know, I trust that this is the decision to take. But that comes from that ongoing practice of deciding every day, so you lead the way. So you lead the way, so that even if I make a mistake, even if I end up choosing the wrong thing, even if I sometimes say yes when I should say no, or maybe sometimes I say no when I should say yes, that you're going to correct it. You're going to bring it into alignment because I have this heartfelt prayer. And so let's step into that place of really holding your sword of truth. Your sword, your soul's sword of truth. Right? It's all those stories of the knights, right, that are so committed, right? They're committed to the queen, or they're committed to protecting a sacred person or object. They hold a sword, and the true meaning of the sword is the sword that cuts through illusion, right? That cuts through confusion, that cuts through all the noise and distraction, right? And is holding that sword of truth. And so let's do that mudra together, the mudra of the priestess, the mudra of the holy women, the holy men. And it's this, we raise our arm up. I am present. I am here. I am present. I am here. And feel that sword cutting through any distraction. Again, I am present. I am here. And in this place of presence, I invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to drink a little water. And as you close your eyes, feel the earth under your feet. And envision before you a circle of stones. we've traveled here before. It's this circle of stones. And as you look at it, you're aware of how sacred, how powerful, how loving these stones are. And you walk towards this circle of stones. And the stones are large, they're bigger, they're taller than you. And as you walk towards the circle of stones, there is one that calls out to you. Whether it's a vibration or a color or just an energy, or perhaps you even hear it whisper your name, there is a stone that is calling to you. And so you walk towards that stone and you stand in front of it with your back leaning. Your back is leaning on this beautiful stone in this sacred circle of stones. And as you lean on this sacred stone, you feel your cells being activated. You feel so connected to your body. Your cells might feel like they're humming or vibrating. And it's okay if you don't feel anything. Just know that this is unfolding in the perfect way for you. And as you lean on this stone, you look around and you notice all these other people in front of their stones, all these other sacred women, sacred men. You might know who they are, you might not know consciously who they are, but they are part of your soul sisterhood and brotherhood. And you know that all of these beautiful people who showed up, they all have a prayer as well to follow their soul's guidance, to create their legacy of love, to share their unique medicine, to be brave and bold and authentic and vulnerable, to do it in a way that honors them as well, themselves. And so together in this circle, we are raising our vibration, are raising our resonance, raising our ability to align with our soul in a deeper way. And at the center of this stone circle appears a beautiful sword on an altar, a sword of light, its handle bejeweled in beautiful crystals. And the sword of light that you perceive is the one for you. And so you walk towards the center, towards this altar, and look at your sword of light. Look at the crystals. And you understand that this sword of light comes from your soul. That this sword of light represents a yes, a decision to become the disciple of your soul, the follower of your soul, to declare that your soul is leading the way. That it is your intention to follow your soul's guidance so that you can create what you came here to create, birth what you came here to birth, heal what you came here to heal in yourself and in the world, bless and be blessed, have your prayers be answered and be the answered prayer for others. And so if you feel ready to pick up that sword, go ahead and do that now. Pick up the sword in your hands. Feel how good it feels in your hands. And then lift it up to the sky. And feel your soul sending a lightning bolt. A lightning bolt of love down the sword, to the handle, to your hand, to your heart, to the earth. This is the decision that will help all other decisions, that will be at the foundation of all others, that will ensure that all your decisions, whatever you decide, come into alignment. And for those of you who looked at the sword and didn't feel ready to pick it up, that's okay. Just acknowledge that and feel your soul's unconditional love. Feel the Ascended Masters. They don't love you any less or any more if you pick up the sword or if you leave it there. Their love is absolute. And so if you haven't picked up the sword but want assistance, if you have fears, just ask your soul to help you. You don't have to pick it up now, but just have that honest prayer. I'm scared to pick it up. Help me to be ready. Help me to pick it up. Send me those angels, send me those earth angels, those people who are here to help me pick it up. I am willing to be helped. And so wherever you were, whether you picked it up or not, feel a blessing in your heart. And feel all the decisions that you're sitting on be blessed in this moment. Any confusion, any illusion, any distraction, lift it off. You don't have to analyze it right now. You don't have to decide in this moment, what am I going to decide? Just receive the blessing of all your decisions. Your sword of light is in you now, if you picked it up. If not, you can come back to the stone circle. Come back and be in conversation with your soul about it. Come back to your stone. Feel the stone behind you. Feel it grounding you and anchoring you into the earth. And with that, we bring the palms of our hands together and we bow to each other's heart and to our own. And we end with a namaste. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so, so much. You know, it really is powerful, right, to commit to that decision. And wherever you are, I mean, if there's anything you want to share in the chat or in the comments, if you're watching the replay, please feel free to do so. I would love to know how that unfolded for you. I feel like for me, my soul keeps, asking for more, like more of that surrender, right? More, because the more I surrender, the more awesome my life will be. That's the thing. It's like the more I surrender, the more I say, yes, soul, I want to follow your guidance, the more amazingness, miracles, delight, abundance, the more of that comes. So thank you, Michelle. I love that. Thank you. So I'm going to pull just a few cards before we end. Oh, to remind you, the free masterclass is this Friday. It is from 9 to 10:30. The replay will be available for a week. I will again have a free a giveaway for anyone who attends live. It'll be a channeled reading, 5-minute channeled reading for you. Last time, Roxana, I know you won, and it was such a joy to do that. But either way, whether you can attend live or not, it's really going to be a powerful time, right? It's a master class. We're all on a path of mastery, not from the ego's perspective, but mastery in remembering who we are. And so one of the things that stops us the most from career expansion and growth is our emotions, right? It's how we feel and the things we do to not feel the things, right? Isn't it interesting? It's like, and so, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin are really the three overlighting mentors of this free masterclass on Friday, which is going to be all about that. What is soul radiance? How do we how can we be like our souls and compassionately witness our emotions, but not let them drag us down, not let them drown us, so that our radiance will radiate and can magnetize to us our students, our clients, our networking connections, all of that stuff. So if you want to join me, I would love, 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 love to see you. And then, yes, next week I'll be back for episode 51. And then episodes 52, 53, and 54 are going to be when I am in Europe, my sacred pilgrimage. I am recording those ahead of time. They're going to be just these really precious offerings for you. So I hope you watch those as well. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's pull a card. What is the message from your soul, beautiful ones? This is for everyone here. 2 came up. So circle of eternal joy, timelessness, dance of life. I love that it has the word circle, since we were literally in a circle of stones right now. Get that. Circle of eternal joy, timelessness, dance of life. And I feel like our soul's reminding us that connecting with our soul is joyful. Like, we think it's going to be this really intense thing. And there's moments of that, of course, as our ego resists it. But there's so much joy, there's so much ease, there's so much fun and playfulness and dance. And then we have clairvoyance, inspiration, interpretation, trust. So this card is really saying, trust your visions. Look at her. This priestess is looking in this bowl, right? She's a seer. It's like, trust the visions that are coming to you. These visions are going to help you. If there's anything you're trying to decide, if there's anything that you're being led to, trust the visions that are coming. And you will know that they come from your soul, because they bring this energy of inspiration, even if there's fear that comes up, right? But there isn't oh, you should do this. There isn't that energy. All right, lovelies, thank you so, so much. Remember, if you need help, I'm always available. I offer a free consultation. You can find that on my website, read all of the details, and I hope to see you on Friday and next week and all the things. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.